Yo, what up? Test Dummy 22. We're gonna run down the list really quick, just as like a little thing to do this 9 Pistolas joint. Um, Briefly, after listening to the snippets now, keep in mind that I can't judge a whole album on snippets, so I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, this shit sucks. I will have to say that Sugar Slam sounds out of place on this album. She doesn't sound like she even belongs there. No offense to Sugar Slam, like she's a nice little sexy piece of ass to look at, but I don't want to have to listen to her on a record. She's not a musician and she doesn't belong on a fucking record. So that's that. That being said, they should have just put her like on the front cover, you know, half naked in a schoolgirl outfit or something if they wanted to sell this album. That's just me being a dick though. Legs Diamond is the man, okay? But I honestly think that from what I've heard, it sounds like he's basically carrying this whole album. When's the last album that Legs Diamond has done? Full-length album of his own. I don't think there was ever one. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, there might have been a Legs Diamond album before. You know, there was a heavy metal band, I believe, in the 80s or the 70s called Legs Diamond. In case y'all didn't know. I don't know much about them, but there was one. But anyway, it just feels as if that he's carrying this entire album and way too much. Now, like I said, these are only snippets, so I can't really get too in-depth, and I'm not going to hate on it because of the fact that they are only snippets, and it's hard to judge an album on just snippets. That being said, Anarchy doesn't sound too bad. And there's a couple other ones that don't sound too bad, like, I think Paradise Parade, isn't too bad. But when I say not too bad, I mean, like, in a pile of stuff that I don't like at all, finding something that I'm semi-digging, and that's not, like, saying that I'm really, like, oh my god, you know, Anarchy sounds so great. It's more or less like I'm trying to find something that I can resonate with. So it's not like I'm really giving it props. I'm just kind of saying that out of all the songs I've heard, Anarchy sounds okay. The concept behind the album is just kind of, you know, DJ Clay. What is that? What are the mixtapes he does? Yeah, those, like, kind of like, in a way, shadowing like kind of how they were doing the Mafia thing on there too. I don't know, I just think they really could have went a whole other route. I feel a lot of influence by Violent J on this, and a lot of the lyrics sound like they've been written by Jay, and like not even Jay's good lyrics, more or less like his really corny shit. And I don't know, man, until I actually hear the whole album, I'm not digging it, but I'm not also saying it's going to be terrible. I think it's cool that they try to do different things. So I think it's cool that they do different shit and they're not trying to just keep it one thing. But like I said before, guys, Psychopathic Records needs to focus on what is Psychopathic Records. Twisted, well, used to be Twisted. I mean, let's hope that that still is what Psychopathic is about, because really with just ICP, and I don't want to get into this, but it's just really, I mean, really, what does ICP do anymore? They come out with Joker cards and that's it. And you know, they haven't been amazing. I'm not saying they've been bad, and we've went over this how many times, I can't keep on repeating myself with it, but they haven't been as good as they've been in the past, and anybody who's under the assumption that they are has just really lost their fucking minds. I'm not saying that, dude, I remember when I first heard Bang Pow Boom's sampler, I honestly thought that they were joking. I thought they were joking and that they were going to be like, oh, we were just fucking with you, and actually give us something real. That's how I felt when I first heard the sampler. I thought they were fucking with mainstream, and that they were really seriously just fucking with the mainstream, and that they were gonna release like some real shit to us. And I was just like, what the fuck? I mean, really, honestly. And then it kind of grew on me. Same thing with Mighty Death Pop. I mean, Mighty Death Pop, when I first heard Benoit, I actually really liked it. But then after like 100 listens, and then the video, it's just like the video was cool the first time, and it just kind of, and then when I heard the album, it just didn't mesh with the album. That video and that song were nothing like that album was. It was almost like false advertisement. Yeah, and it's not to say that I don't like some of the tracks. Like, I really like the new video for Hate Her to Death, and there's a lot of tracks on there that I'd love to see done in video form, especially like the Blasta and Where Is God and possibly Forever. Those songs I would love to see done. But it just, like I said before, and I'll keep on saying it again, just doesn't feel like a Joker's card. I mean, I know it is, but it just doesn't feel like it. Like I said, it feels more like a sideshow album, and it really does. Both of them, Bang Pow Boom and Mighty Death Pop. And this album feels like even less than like what a Riders album feels like, even less than what you know, I can't even explain it. I mean, let's just say like this, not a lot of people like Supervillains. Some people did, some people love that album. Personally, I was never a huge fan of that album. I was a fan of the idea of Supervillains, but was never really a fan of the album per se. And that's kind of how this album comes off. Not very well done, really just kind of like on the fly, something that just can make a couple bucks. And this is the problem that I've been saying and talking about with Psychopathic Records and what they're beginning to do. They're beginning to put stuff out and stamp a Hatchet Man on it and expecting everyone to buy it. I mean, look at what they did with the last Cryptic collection. It was ridiculous. I mean, it was a bunch of songs we've already heard a million times that we all already own. Why would anybody buy that? Why? You know, it just seems it's kind of disrespectful to Juggalos to do that kind of shit, and I just don't understand why they're taking this route. You know, a lot of people have pointed the finger at Billy Bill. I've heard some comments on videos that I've made. People talk about how, you know, after Alex left is kind of when things started to go downhill. And if you do look back around the time Alex left and Billy took over, this is when things started to change, when the Tempest came, and then after the Tempest, and ever since the Tempest, it just started to really kind of decline. There was a big focus on JCW, and not saying that we don't like JCW, but truth of the matter is, I really think Juggalos just want ICP and Psychopathic to focus on the music that we love. You know, if they would have done that from the beginning, I think we all would be much happier right now. And I've said this before, and I'm going to stick by it, you know, because it's the truth. It is the truth. I'm sorry, I'm a real motherfucking Juggalo, and I'm telling you from every single Juggalo's point of view. There might be one or two motherfuckers out there that disagree with this, but the truth of the matter is, if they would have just focused on Twisted, Blaze, ABK, Dark Lotus, The Riders, and obviously ICP and their whole carnival theme, if they would have really incorporated that and went all out, balls to the wall with it, that would have been the way to enter the new millennium, not millennium, but the new era. That should have been the new era, you know, really kicking that real Juggalo, carnival, wicked shit. And not even necessarily all wicked, but just keeping it real, keeping it carnival, keeping it, you know what I mean? And it just seems like they abandoned it, and it just seems to be going down. Now, supposedly they're supposed to release an EP. Hopefully that redeems them a little bit. And I've been hoping that happens with every release that they come out with. I was really hoping Mighty Death Pop would really redeem them when it did for a moment, and then it just felt like it kind of didn't really last. It was almost like something that really wasn't that memorable. So I'm just hoping that this EP does something, and possibly whoever they're announcing that's going to be signing to Psychopathic, you know, it could be someone really bad. It could be something that just we laugh at again. I mean, really, it's not about not liking Cold 187 or not liking Lex Diamond or not liking, you know, the idea of the Purple Gang. It's not about not liking Dayton Family. It's not about hating these guys or hating what they're about and their music. It's not. It's more or less hating the fact that Psychopathic is going in a direction that is kind of away from what was this corporation and what this music was founded and built on. It's moving farther away from what Juggalos really want and more towards what I don't really know who wants, I don't know who really wanted a Purple Gang album, and I don't really know who wanted Dayton Family on Psychopathic. I don't know who wanted Cold 187. I don't know who wanted a lot of this stuff, and no one wanted Twisted to leave, It just seems like a lot of this could have been avoided, and it's just sad that it's happening, and I'm not going to sit here and say that it's going to crumble and Psychopathic's going under. I still have 100% faith in them, I think Violent J and Shags are, two mastermind geniuses that still have a lot of energy and power left in them, and they still could turn this thing around. But I think whoever the fuck is running shit, like if Billy Bill's the reason why a lot of this stuff is happening, fuck the money for a little bit, dude, and get back to what's real. Get back to what built this fucking what built Psychopathic Records. Get back to what, you know what I mean? Like, I just, a lot of the things I said in some past videos were serious, man, and no one really wanted to listen to it. You all wanted to take it like I'm hating. I'm not. I'm just scared. I'm worried about the record company that I love the most. I'm worried of the direction they're going, and sometimes, just because they're in control doesn't mean that the moves that they make are always the right moves. They might be making some wrong moves, and I think it's time that people woke up a little bit and started to realize that some of the moves they're making aren't the right moves, and they should be moving in other directions, and they're not. And there doesn't seem to be a reason behind it. It just doesn't seem feasible. It doesn't seem right that they're going in this direction. It seems very odd. It really does. It almost seems like something changed, like something has been lost. Like it just seems like there's something missing, and it's not Twisted. It's something in the music. It's something that just disappeared. It's not there no more, and it's very, very disturbing. And even with the release of this Purple Gang thing, it almost shows even more. And Jump Steady, I love Jump Steady, but where has Jump Steady been at? Just to pop up like this, and then to use Sugar Slam, why? Whatever made her a part of, and I'm really happy to see that Legs Diamond put something together. I really always wanted to see something by him, but it just seems like there's way too much influence by, I don't know, something just doesn't seem right, guys. I don't know what more to tell you, and I know if Jay would be watching this or something, this is his baby or whatever, I'm pretty sure he's proud of this no matter what we think. And, I get it, dude. I get that. If it was mine and no one liked it, I wouldn't really give a fuck, but I think there might come a time when you have to kind of start taking advice from us, or at least listening to us a little bit, and start to realize that Lotus was something that we not only loved, but that we devoted to. We invested a lot in Lotus. I think a lot of Juggalos put a lot of heart into Lotus. I know I did, and thinking that it could just be done and never ever be another Lotus album again, and the fact that when Lotus was around that there wasn't enough energy put into it. I think they could have done so much more with Lotus. And I know Lotus was one of these things that was supposed to be special and not really be overplayed or overdone, because it was supposed to be kind of special, and I understood that. But I understood that a lot better when I knew, or at least thought, that a new Lotus album was going to come out. But now that I'm sitting here realizing that there may never be another Lotus album, and seeing stuff like the Purple Gang come out, it's really starting to make me lose faith, and I don't like that, because I never thought that would ever happen. And it's just disturbing, and I just really hope ICP steps their game up, and not necessarily on their solo stuff. On the Insane Clown Posse department, I think they're doing okay. I don't really, I have no room to complain there. That's their thing, that's, I'm not here to tell them what to do with their group. What comes out of their mouths and what goes on the tapes for the Joker cards is entirely up to them, and I have no say in that. And no matter what they want to do with that, I should not question it, and I don't. But I will, however, question what the fuck they're doing with this label, because this label, if a lot of the things that they say is true, you know, like I said before, is just as much as ours as it is theirs. And, you know, anything that they do under that hatchet reflects on every single one of us. And, you know, right now it just really seems like, you know, we've been laughed at a lot. And I almost thought it was time that we were going to start redeeming ourselves in the eyes of everyone. And it just seems like we're just going to become even more of a laughingstock to, you know, and who really, I mean, I honestly don't care what mainstream rap or whatever thinks of us, but I would like to prove a point that we can hang with mainstream artists, and I think Twisted's on the right path to do that. But now that Twisted's not with Psychopathic anymore, it really doesn't matter now, does it? I mean, you know, I don't know, things just seem like they're really getting fucked up. But I hope and pray, you know, that everything does turn out good. And, you know, like I said, this Purple Gang tape, I have not listened to the whole thing yet, so I'm not going to jump to any conclusions. It didn't sound terribly bad, but, you know, for the most part, it was a little weak. And, you know, some of them sounded catchy, though, I'm not going to lie. There was, and another thing I've noticed is a little bit of, like, Bang Pow Boom and Mighty Death Pop feel to some of the choruses, and you know, ICP influence, definitely Violent J influence on some of the choruses and the hooks and stuff like that, most definitely. And even like the one part where Sugar Slam's rapping just like Jay rapped on what was it, not Vultures, Fonz Pond, and you know how Jay took that rhyming style from Tone Loc, Funky Cold Medina. Well, she's doing the same fucking rhyming style on that one track. I don't remember which one, but it's just like, come on now, how many times can you take Tone Loc's fucking rhyming flow and fucking screw it up? I don't know. I mean, dude, like I said before, Sugar Slam looks like a girl that I'd like to put high heels on and tie her fucking her wrist to her fucking high heels and like possibly spank her and, you know, force feed her my cock and make her choke on it. But other than that, you know, I don't think she's good for much more than that. I mean, she might be a nice person. I don't know her personally. Jay's probably gonna come kill me now, but I'm just saying. I mean, what I'm trying to get at is she's probably good for sucking dick, but not for fucking musical fucking style. I mean, she's definitely not a rapper. Her voice is kind of annoying, especially after she's been put in every single infomercial that they've had for the last 2 years, and her voice has just become very, very annoying. I'm sorry. And just hearing it on a CD even makes it worse, because it's like we've been hearing it in these infomercials. Now all of a sudden we're hearing it in music, and it just doesn't make sense. And that's the honest truth. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other juggalos feel the exact same way. Thumbs up if you agree. Well, not thumbs up to video, but just type thumbs up down there in the comments. Anyways, that's my thoughts for now. I thought I'd just give my 2 cents. Like I said, I'm not rating it. I'm not going to even, you know, this is how I feel after listening to the first little bit of it. You know, maybe I'll get the whole album and really dig it. Like I said, I think Anarchy sounded alright, and maybe 1 or 2 other ones were semi-decent, but really, I'm with Blue on this one. I'm not really feeling it. So anyways, Test Dummy 22, much motherfucking with clown love, and I will be coming at you with some more videos soon. Check the links out below. Peace.